I built a lot of my work around a moment I'm not proud of, a brutally hot afternoon, and a sharp word to someone I love over absolutely nothing at all. Welcome back. This is Dr. Lisa, science backed, soul supported, day 5 of the heat. And today's the personal why behind this week. I'm going to tell you the moment this work actually started for me, and frankly, it's not very flattering. It was one of those Florida afternoons where the heat sits on your chest and the air doesn't move. I'd been short all day. I didn't sleep well the night before. I was clipped in my answers, fast to be annoyed, like super fast. And over something genuinely tiny, I heard my own voice go really sharp at someone I love. I actually said, "Do you think that's important right now? How would you feel getting that said to you?" And I instantly regretted it. Nothing they did earned that. And I caught myself mid-sentence, and in that little gap, I watched the old reflex line up, the one I'd run my whole life. Something's wrong with me. I am certainly not a good person, especially in this moment. So look at how I'm treating the people I love. That really sucked. Well, most of my life, that reflex won. As a pharmacist and later as a hospital administrator over these 5 departments, I lived in a world that rewarded performance and gave little, like very little grace for being human. I was fluid in standards and almost illiterate in self-compassion. So a sharp word on a hot afternoon was never just a hard moment. It was evidence in a case I was always building against myself. And the case never closed because the shame generated more of the behavior it was punishing. But that particular afternoon, for whatever reason, I noticed the heat first. Before the verdict could finish forming, I noticed I was overheated, depleted, and running on a body that'd been fighting for the temperature all day. And I'd had enough training by then to hold 2 things true at once instead of collapsing them into one. The apology I owed was real. I had been sharp, and that was on me to fix. And the heat was also real. My physiology had been under load, and that load had a great deal to do with how thin, very thin, my patience had worn. Both are true. Neither one canceled the other. So I did something almost embarrassing. This is embarrassing. I got a cool cloth and I laid down on the basement floor. I let my body come back online before I tried to be a better person of myself by force. And then I made the apology from a steadier place than the one I'd snapped from. And that's the whole shift my work is built on, and it took me years to trust it. Take your body seriously doesn't lower your standards. It made the standards humane. And I still hold myself to how I treat people I love. I stopped adding that second injury, the shame, the character verdict on top of the first one, because the shame was never making me better. It was only making me more depleted. And that made the next sharp word more likely, not less. So I'm telling you this partly because I think a lot of accomplished, high functioning people are quietly running the exact case against themselves that I ran for years. You hold that line at work, you look like you have it together, and then on hard, hot days, you snap it home and decide it means something terrible about you. And I want to offer you what that afternoon eventually offered me. It might not mean anything terrible at all. It might mean you are a human being under a physical load, treating depletion like a moral failing. So, this is the gentlest possible homework. The next time the heat catches you and the sharp word comes out, see if you can notice the heat before the verdict. Hold both. Repair what's yours to repair, apologize, set down what was never yours to carry. And because today is a little more personal, I would love for this to be a conversation rather than a broadcast. So tell me in the comments where the heat catches you, the moment, the time of the day, the person you're most likely to be sharp with when you're worn thin. Or comment help if you want me to point you somewhere. Read every single comment and I answer. That's today. If this gave you one easier breath, help me pass it on. Like, subscribe, and share. Hit the little bell to be notified when something new comes, and drop a comment because I read every single one. Every share brings one more person into the Nezzen community, and that's how we build this, one steadier day at a time.